I'm David Sexton, and this is Sexton EDT. Today, we're going to be going over this desk setup, and I'm pretty stoked about it. Not just because I like the way it's set up, but because as soon as this is done filming, I'm going to be reconfiguring it, because even though I do like this, it's no longer conducive to how I use it, or how I will be using it. Because as of today as well, I just started going back to school, all online on Liberty University. As I said in my previous video, the intro to this channel, kind of talking about what the EDT stands for, which I'll kind of briefly touch on right here. It's just basically everyday tech, everyday travel, everyday training, everyday thinking, and any other T word I can think to incorporate in my regular routine. It's more or less just for me to dial in my process, give me an outlet to be creative, learn a new hobby, and pick up some extra skills, while also maybe giving you some pointers on how I do the type of things that I like to do from a budget-oriented standpoint. A lot of times you see a lot of these tech YouTubers on here spending large amounts of change. That's not what this is about. We can't all have the cool, freebies to review and the things like this. So I actually paid for these things. I actually use these things. So I'll be reviewing them from that standpoint. And there will also be links to the things that I use down below. So if you do like them, you can find them. I guess first of all, we need to get into where we are. We just moved, my wife and I, to a little spot on the water where the Kentucky Lake and Tennessee River converge. Super beautiful. Causes us to have to travel quite a bit for work because we're about 2 hours from where both of us work, but as a firefighter and an ER nurse, our schedules aren't terrible for having to travel. My parents still live back towards Memphis where we work, and they help out with the kids. So this is our new house. We moved here at the end of May and immediately set into work. This is actually the back half of the living room where I have carved my little spot. We made my wife one, which I'll be giving a video on her setup as well a little later on, and she might be getting some of these hand-me-downs as well. So you can stay tuned and see what her setup looks like if you're interested as well, which if you are, do me a favor, subscribe so you don't miss it. Give me a like if you like this, and if you can, drop some constructive criticism in the comments, because again, I'm learning, I'm trying to figure this out. But this is the back part of our living room. Over into this area off camera is where our couches and TV and everything set up, and then directly across from me is where her setup is, and then you can start to see the steps towards the little kitchenette right here. So I'm just kind of explaining where we are. It was just such a huge living area that we had plenty of room to use this, and it allows us to do some work independently while also feeling together and having plenty of room for the kids and everything to be playing around and having the TV on. It's a pretty nice setup. So I'll get some sweeping shots here in a little bit, lace these through, but we'll get into these bookshelves here. They're like Home Depot jobs. The Rubbermaid shelvings, I think those are the 6-foot ones with the track. We went with 5. I specifically did them at the height that I did them in on the wall, because this right here is a pretty nice standing desk that raises to meet where the second shelf is. Again, everybody's using the stand-up desk. They're super convenient. They're nice. You're not sitting down all the time. You're doing a lot of work in front of the screen. You want to be able to stand up and use it. I bought this as just the legs for under $200 on Amazon. Again, if they don't still have these, because I've had this for about 2 years now, if they don't have these still, I will find something comparable, have down in the comments so you can check those out. This desktop was actually a gift from my parents a few years ago, and my brother-in-law was living with us last year or 2 years ago. He actually showed some initiative and was trying to help clean. We came back from a trip and my desk had broken legs on it because he went to move something, broke my desk. So it just gave me an excuse to pick up the standing desk legs and able to throw that on there. It actually fit perfectly. There's just a little bit of a lip from the legs, but no big deal. It actually looks made for it. I kind of modified it a little bit. Got a piece of sheet metal from Home Depot, $7, and a couple of the little clear 3M hooks to hold it in place to make the actual slide for it. Able to slide that in and out perfectly, becomes my keyboard tray. Slide that over. I've got this, and then the machine here is a 2017 27-inch iMac, which I absolutely love. I'll get some shots of it closer because there's something special about this. Again, a budget purchase. Bought it off of eBay a couple years ago when it was only about 2 years old for only $400, because it does have a crack in the screen here, but it doesn't go too far into. It's just on the bezel and then curves back out. Made sure to look to make sure that there were no shards or no splintering into the screen. As it sets, this thing is perfect for use. It just has the one imperfection, and I was able to get it for almost 50% off what other used ones were going for. So again, that's that budget conscious mind. Next to it, we have my iPad Pro 12.9 inch, the 2018 version. The M1s were cool when they came out, but iPad OS just doesn't use the M1 power, so why would I upgrade? If you did upgrade, great. If you enjoy it, tell me about it in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong, but from my standpoint, I can do everything with the 2018 that the 2021 can do, even without the M1 processor. I just don't understand how Apple would put that in that machine and not allow you to use its full potential. Maybe we'll see it in future updates, but I saw no point in updating. And I'm glad I didn't, because we'll be talking about how I'm switching that out with my new system too. It's setting on an $60 magnetic stand, which is really awesome. I'll put the link down on that. Can't remember the name of it. Maybe it's on here, but it just literally, and it's on there too. Sets on there pretty good. We'll get some B-roll going of that. It is a little tricky to find where the magnetic point is, but that's where it is. You'll also see on the screen, got my 901 poker chip, Memphis Grizzlies ball. Got to represent my home city. Memphis catches flack, but I love it. And then that's pretty much it. Well, the chair, we have, this was a restore, basically a Habitat for Humanity charity place that resells kind of like Goodwill. I was able to find this for like 30 bucks, slapped on some new legs. Had to jack it up a little bit because of the way this desk setup is. It is a little high, which also explains why I have the cool little leg rests underneath to help keep my feet flat, a little bit more ergonomic that way. Also in the setup, we have a pretty cool little Royal typewriter, same model that Ernest Hemingway would have used. Big into reading, if you couldn't tell. Actually, was a creative writing major at one time. I wanted to be a writer. Still time, I guess. I just haven't lived enough. So it feels kind of pretentious to put words on a page if you don't have anything to say. But nonetheless, you may see a hint or two on my shelf for what some of the new equipment may be. Maybe you'll see something in here. But anyway, I've got some cool new videos coming because I will be switching this up. We'll be going over my wife's setup, and she'll be absorbing some of that stuff. And if that sounds interesting, do me a favor, subscribe so you won't miss them. Like this video if you liked it. As always, put comments, suggestions, critiques, whatever you got, put them down in the comments section. I can use all the help I can get, as you're probably painfully aware. But until next time, just remember, live free or don't.